Hey, Klaus. Morning, Mike. How you doing, Joanne? Sagittarius, how are you? Hey, Bandy. Good morning to you. Blue Man, I think it is. How are you? Hey, how you doing, Joanne? How's everybody doing today? Hey, GM. Good morning to you, Gentle Storm. I am doing fine. How you doing, Mama? Good morning. How you doing, Terry? Grand Rising. It's hot again. That's good. Get some sun. Morning, afternoon. Yep. I plan on doing a little out. Yep. Get a little vitamin D on me today. Grand Rising, Robert. How's my brother doing? PG. Hope you got good weather up there. Welcome. Long Island is in the house. How you doing, Randy? Good morning, UK. Or good afternoon. How you doing, Cheryl? Grand Rising. Sunny there, too. That's good. Yep. We're going to enjoy the summer. Summer's going to be good. You know, we just have to just keep chilling. Good morning from Florida. How are you? Yes. How you doing, Lexi? Good afternoon, Cyprus. You're seeing my pain? I'm seeing your pain. You're seeing my pain? I'm seeing your pain? I put castor oil on every night. It helps the joints. How you doing, Pearl? Good to see you. Hey, Lena, how are you, dear? Yeah. All our brothers and sisters down east, yeah, we got Canada covered. There's a lot of light in Canada, a lot of patriots in Canada. But we also have a lot of sleepers here, too, like every other country. Good morning to you. Good morning from Michigan. I guess it'll be late morning. Yes, it'll be late morning for you. I'm trying to get my my time zones collective. Grand Rising from Virginia. Good late morning to you. Morning to you. How you doing, Matt? Hey, Nan. Rob, how's it? Yeah, how are things going? We're going to be talking about money today. Lots of development. Yeah, it's a lot of the stuff is being revealed. It's all coming out. Yeah, the deletes are being deleted. Grand Rising from Ireland, our great country, and our Irish brothers and sisters that is doing such a marvelous job keeping their country in check, and all are keeping their country safe and their politicians in check. Good morning from South Carolina. Beautiful state. Yes. White House Q posting yesterday, I know, on X. Yeah, it was brilliant. Yep. They've got 7 levels going underneath that. It's not really going to be called the White House anymore. Looks like it's going to be a command center. You know, that's that no cabal can penetrate. And I think that's where they're going to be. That's going to be JJ's new command center. Nobody will be able to touch him until all these gators are completely wiped off the face of this planet. Yes, we're going to quantum. Everything's quantum. I've been, talking about it for some years now. So I just want to try to get it out there for everybody. So when we do switch over, which is going to happen the very second that the EBS is activated. Quantum is already in the back screens right now, ready to be switched. Grand Rising, yep. Good morning from Minnesota is in the house. How are you? Many still sleeping in Canada. Yeah, well, there's a lot of sleepers all around the world. A lot of people are just trying to get to work and get their pay and, pay their taxes, which is wrong. There are millionaires. We are all millionaires. We just don't know it yet. There has been absolute trillions and trillions of dollars recovered from the gators. Thousands and thousands of them are running and fleeing. They're going to the North Pole, the South Pole, the very far Pacific, and deep in the jungles of Africa, and they're all getting, they got special forces in there hunting them down, picking them up. And if they're barricaded in some kind of underground facility, they send in a live one, a live firecracker. Yeah. How you doing, Lexi? Yes. Good morning to you. Ormy, how are you? Michigan also is in the house. Todd the drummer. Welcome. How you doing, Randy? Welcome. England, yes. The English are rising up too. I'm very, very happy with humanity. They are coming awake finally. Grand Rising from the Netherlands. Yep, you're in the house. Welcome. ATB. TB Anderson. How you doing, Linda, from Florida? Beautiful state. Hey, how you doing, Mike Lee from Texas? Another great state. Oh, and Cyprus is in the house, 4 p.m. Good afternoon, sir. Or madam, I can't see. Is it Tia or Thea? I apologize. We all need money. Well, that's coming. I got some great news on the Dinar, Dong, and Zim. Yeah. And, of course, the metals are happening. We're going to chat a little bit about that. You got any questions out there, let me know. Will gold go up or down when the gold-backed currency happens? Well, isn't that the $64,000 question? I think they've just released it. Now, whether it was a comm that was sent out deliberately or if it was leaked, we do not know. But this came right off the www.gov out of the United States right now. And I just want to say, before I say anything, this is for entertainment purposes only. And I recommend that you go out there and do your own research. But that being said, I just want to thank Judy Sheldon, who's got a lot of power inside the U.S. Treasury. And she has basically put the statement out that the dinar is going to be $40. So that's $40 to 1. The dong is going to be $29 to 1. And the zim can only be redeemed at a redemption center. I'm going to say this a couple of times. Yes, a dinar is $40 for the U.S. Treasury note. So you're going to get 40 U.S. Treasury note for every dinar you got. You're going to get 29 U.S. Treasury note for every dong you got. Isn't that spectacular? Gold is going to go, and it's been leaked out now. Gold is going to go to $19,600 U.S. Treasury note. Silver will hit $1,500 per ounce. These are the new they're bringing out these releases, and it's all done through either X or through the government, whatever, through Q to X through the government, however you want to cut it. And they're not going to be saying this stuff if this is not if it's not accurate. They're not going to give you, especially on the money, they're not going to give us disinformation. So we have that's very exciting news. How's it going, Pearl? Yeah, that's all you dream about is money, money. Well, you know what? Let's stop and smell the roses. Stop and smell the tulips and the wildflowers out there. Because we have to, first of all, we have to be healthy and wise. And then, of course, the wealth will come later. We have to make sure that we obey our NDAs, okay, which is non-disclosure agreements. Okay, we have to prepare for that. And the banks that are out there that maybe or may not be activated after we go through the 10 days or whatever it is for darkness, we have to be very, very cautious when we walk into those banks, if your bank even exists after the EBS. They're talking about how you doing, Joan? They're talking about integrating the local credit unions. So maybe they've all capitulated, and we're going to have to feel our way through this, and but be very, very cautious. You can go in there to a redemption center, and basically that's all. The redemption centers are military controlled. They're going to be highly secure and guarded, and you'll be able to receive your phone or laptop or tablet or whatever it's going to be, and that phone will only activate through your frequency, as I've said before. Good morning, Jersey. How's it going? Paula from Wisconsin. From Wisconsin. Good to see you. How's it going, Beaver? Yes, I'm a little tongue-tied this morning. Didn't get my second coffee in me. Star Patrick, how are you? Grand Rising, Spring Hill, Florida. Beautiful state. We got a buddy of mine. His brother's down in Florida right now. He's a what do you call it? He's a fine artist that does cars. Does that air spray? Yeah, air art or whatever they call it. Yeah, guy's magnificent, and he does really, really little small emblems as too. Very, very, very intricate. Yeah. And I guess he's hanging out there, and of course, his brother, which is my buddy, he's a great body man up in BC here, and he's thinking of maybe heading south to Florida when that's all goes through. We're going to have a new White House, exactly. Yeah, the White House is not going to be the White House. The new White House, wherever this may be, could be Mar-a-Lago or could be in Central Texas. We're not sure. But it's going to be there. And the other old White House will probably be a fortress and a command center. That'll be operating and I think there's going to be 2,400 staff, military staff in there, along with the important people. Blessings to you. Quantum is alive and well. Yes. It's going to be the big changeover. How you doing, Mike Hartman? Good to see you. Marilyn, you're in the house. Ocean City. Someone said EBS isn't what we think it's going to be. Probably not. We'll see. Everything's everything's going to be a surprise, right? Not so much to us, but it's sure going to be a surprise for the sleepers. Godspeed. Yep. How you doing, New York? How's it going, Nancy? Will the military be in Cyprus? Yes, they will. They're everywhere right now. You're going to see them in plain clothes. They probably got their their uniforms all packed away, ready to go. Yeah, they're just hanging out at the coffee shops and keeping an eye open on things. Oh, yes. Good morning, Grand Rising, Michigan. Yes. Grand Rising. Yes, Grand Rising to you too. Good afternoon and good evening, conspiracy theorists. Yeah. Yeah, put all your questions in capital letters. I do have some more information just to kind of keep everybody up. It's the pretty typical stuff, but it's get them gators, you bet. Yeah, we're going to be making belts and vests and all kinds of nice coats out of them. Maybe some nice cowboy boots. Sue from Florida, how are you? How things going? Yes, there is when we get this thing flipped over and everybody starts getting their money, and I'm hoping that we receive or have the chance to redeem our foreign currency first, so we can, before the metals go off, so we can go out there and buy a bunch more metal, right? Like I said, silver is going to go to 1,500 plus, and gold will go to 19,000. Now, I might have people a little bit, pissed off with me, my kind of people I had talked to, over coffee and stuff like that. And they switched from, they sold their gold off and bought silver, and they're, a little bit, they're not sure how things are going to be played out. But just let me remind you, gold, whatever you've invested in, will only go, that's only 4 times of what it is now, but silver will be 25 times. Okay. So there is no comparison on the amount of potential upswing that silver will have over gold. Okay. How you doing, Iowa? Good to see you. Good morning, Mom. Morning from Birmingham, New York. Or, I'm sorry, Binghamton. Gee whiz. These are pretty tough names. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one before. I had a buddy of mine from Rochester. Yeah, he was. We were both working in Edmonton at the time, back in the day. How you doing, Sagittarius? Love and light from Germany. What about the people that have or haven't been caught yet? Well, they're being chased down. Yeah, they're in hideouts. They're all over the world in hideouts and whatever. And if they don't come out with their hands up, I mean, it doesn't matter. They have no place to run on this planet. No, there's no place. I mean, these special forces have got their targets. These special forces are like bloodhounds. There's no play. I don't care how much money a guy has. If you got these special forces on your ass, your days are numbered. And I've been trying to say that. Been trying to say that to all the, the crazy lefts that are out there that are supporting all this. If you're not supporting Trump and God and trusting in the plan, then you are our enemy. How you doing, Australia? Hope things are going well for you. Yeah, I'll be in your neighborhood hopefully in the next 6-7 weeks. When will this movie end? It's going to end soon. That's all I can say. Lots of stuff going down. It will go down this year. London, Ontario, how are you? 3 p.m. in Germany now. Yeah. Yeah, things are expensive in Germany. I just remember seeing stuff. It's just like, whoa. Yeah, it's pretty expensive there. I don't know, like It's almost, it kind of reminds me of Canada. How you doing? Yes, I'm concerned about Australia. It should not be. It looks bad, but Albanese or whoever it's running the shit show there will be removed soon, and same with Luxon out of New Zealand. Don't worry, family. It's all being done. Just like it says, kick back. If you got a porch there, sit back and just watch watch the shit show. It's all coming down. I mean, we all have to understand that the United States has to be liberated first, and then they're going to go into different countries. But always remember something here. Very, very, this is very, very important. There are 177 armies from different countries around the world that is under the commander's authority, and he can direct them in any direction. So you'll have Russian special operators in Australia. You'll have special operators out of Malaysia, in Mexico. They're moving them around. Okay? And because it's the reason why they're doing all that is for because if you have the same people or military going in and taking out the bad guys, which are the operators or whatever, if that, no matter how bad that guy is or whatever, there might be hesitation, if they're basically the same, from the same country. There might be, I don't know what the deal is behind that, but that's how they're playing it. But there is 177 countries out there that have militaries that have been, basically not donated, but given to get this global alliance put together. It's a huge, huge military. And Russians, Putin's behind it, Xi Jinping, everybody's online. And what you're seeing out there is everything out there right now is just a total distraction. Good morning. How you doing? Yeah, how you doing, Rhonda? Hey, Renee from Minneapolis. Yeah, that's all going to get cleaned up too. How you doing, Olive? Well, copper, pennies, whatever you want to start collecting, that copper is going to be a precious metal. I believe it's going to be, it's going to be melted into the tokens. It will not be, I'm sure there will be industrial purpose for it, like there is for silver. But, all this technology that's coming in, there's going to be so much demand for everything. I don't know, I know there's lots of silver in the ground, but it's the matter of getting it out and putting it on the shelf. That's the challenge. Based on the demand that's out there, they won't be able to get it on the shelves fast enough. But we do have lots of silver, lots of copper. Kathy from Springfield, Illinois. Good morning to you too. Yep, you can just, friend me over on Facebook, Alex West. That's a double X behind, on Alex. Yeah, ALEXXWEST on Facebook. Friend me there, and I will, I'll put you, we can message each other from there for any questions that you may have. Yeah. Goddess of Freedom. Grand Rising. Thank you for the prayers and hearts. Love from the Netherlands. Welcome. Yes. Bought over 1,100 ounces of silver yesterday. Yeah, good. That is a touchdown. Good for you. Yep. What's that, about 11 grand, I guess? I'm not sure. I guess you'd be buying it American, stateside. Excited about the exchange. Yeah, I know. No kidding. $40 dinar. Woo-wee. And then the dong, $29. My goodness. That's I don't even know what to do with all of it. Gonna have to really get the imagination going. Yep. Yeah, Dong. The Vietnamese don't. I got a couple of Vietnamese buddies here in town. They're close friends of mine. It was a very, let's say he had a very colorful past, but he I think came over. I think when he was a child, his parents basically had to sell their gold and silver in trade to get their children over to Canada. It was he's got quite a story behind him. How you doing, Amy? Hey, Robert Jardine. Yeah, thank you very much. So exciting. Yes, it is. Yeah, the Trump administration is starting to drop these comms. I mean, when they're starting to say stuff like this, gold's coming in at 20 grand, 1,500 for silver, So don't just ignore anything on the COMEX right now. Anything that's out there that showing the charts, and it's all lies. It's all garbage. They got no control of it anymore. There's I don't even think they're believing their own lies anymore. Is there gold and silver in the phone? Yeah. And PCs? Yes, there is. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why there's a lot of recycling going on in the Philippines and in the, what they think is poorer countries. But, the Filipino is way ahead of the system. I mean, they're already starting to, put up kiosks to buy everybody's sterling silver. And, they're doing melts, on the side of the road in the little kiosks. They're melting it down right there. Yeah, they're not playing around, and that's waking, when you see stuff like that happening, it's waking up the masses there, right? And they know that their peso, which is like, I think it's like 43-1 to a Canadian dollar, they know that they're not interested in any dollar of any sort. They are out there to trade the stuff in and go after the peso because they know the peso will be revaluated based on the richness or the rare mineral asset of the Philippines. And the Philippines is extremely rich. Extremely rich. They have got silver, gold, copper, all kinds of rubies, emeralds, they're very, very rich. Not to mention the abundant of fishing around their country of 7,400 islands. It's not 7,100, 7,400. Many of those islands are uninhabited. There's nothing there except maybe monkeys and crocs. So yeah, you can go buy an island. I'm sure you could there, but like I said, in order for me to be there as an expat, you have to marry a Filipina, or have a foreigner woman marry a Filipino. Yeah, how you doing, Mike? That's their. I mean, I don't think that's going to change. Canada, the door is it's a saloon door open for anybody to come in there. I've seen it with my own eyes. It was just like it took my breath away. Yeah, they just bring them in. Whoever managed to get that, I mean, anybody could walk through. And that's what they're trying to do. And, they're just trying to, flood Canada with undocumented migrants. Well, the same as England, and if England, which I think the English are trying to do right now is stand up. If they don't stand up and start physically throwing these I'm not going to say, but there's a lot of trafficking and let's say grooming going on, and all these in Western European. In the Western Europe, a lot of grooming gangs. Terrible. Tommy Robinson's got his hands full. Yes, I'm ready to. Everybody's ready. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to just do some traveling and but I do want to, of course, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, we'll see how this plays out. I'm not going to make any plans because they never work out anyways. Health and freedom always. Yes, you bet. How you doing, Eric? Hey, Nimic. Dream was out only last night and wasn't restful. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of dreams going on right now. I mean, there's things that they say if you close your eyes, in the dark and whatever, and if you don't see anything, your pineal gland's not open. But if you see different things going on, it means your pineal gland is open. So, like, just make sure that all the spices that you're, started introducing them into your diet. I mean, like I said, I still got the silver and the cinnamon cloves. Very, very good. It's a very good detoxing. Yeah. Yeah, there's redemption centers in Cyprus. They're all over the world. There'll be, all through Europe, Eastern and Western Europe. Nobody's going to be missed. Remember, stay positive because what you think will manifest. If you think a negative, your negative world will start manifesting around you. Stop. Don't do that. Money isn't supposed to be everything exactly. It was made to, just kind of get us from point A to point B. But I don't think, with that, so many things free, no taxes, there'll be probably free transportation, free med beds, free medical. How much money are you going to need? They're going to be food replicators eventually, and humanity is going to be, the future is bright. It's going to be so bright you'll need sunglasses. Love from the Netherlands. Welcome. Yes, I love the Dutch people. Very, very, very pleasant people. We have a lot of people from Holland in Canada. Yeah. Yep. Prayers are important. Talk to your creator right here. Yeah. Do you know if you have? Do I have Zim? I don't have any Zim. No, didn't get lucky, and that's a humanitarian thing, anyways. But you'll be able to take some of that, maybe 20% of that, to set yourself up. The rest of it will be, thrown into humanitarian. And the only place you can cash it in or get redemption from that or redeem your money there is through the Redemption Center on the Zim. If you want to go play with the banks, if there's banks open there, just remember, you're not going to get $40 or $29. They're going to try to swindle you out as much money. So it becomes a negotiating factor. Grand Rising, I bought 1,000 Vietnamese dong. Now, so you bought 1,000 Vietnamese dong, that's it? Or you bought $1,000 worth? Love from Arkansas. Yep. Which currency will go in the RV first? Well, I think I know for a fact that the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong and the Indonesian rupiah and the Venezuelan bolivar and maybe a couple other ones. I'm not sure, but of course the Zim will go first too. Everybody's excited. They figure, some of the bonds people have already been paid out. Tier 3 has been paid out. 2 and 1. They're all under NDAs and living large. I have a question. In this new system, we are to live longer. What about the newly unalived? Well, I mean, it's it'll be a Passover. I mean, if they're good people, they will. They'll have an eternal life. They might, do a reincarnation, which has been going on for many, many years. Some of the star seeds right now are coming back and saying, that's who I am right there, and that was their grandmother, or I was the queen of this country before, and their little kids talking like that. So, I mean, the stuff that we're going to learn is going to be, at best, put our hair on end. It's just, yeah. I mean, the stuff that's out there is going to be, well, it's biblical. How you doing, Rob? Yeah, I will. I will go back over to Facebook. Yeah, I can only answer. I mean, when we're off doing lives, this is. I mean, I try to do some. They're allowing me to do videos now, and to do on TikTok, as long as I keep it, maybe to money or whatever. I don't. I mean, they got me in a tight on a very short leash, right? Yeah, yeah. The dinar is at $40 at the Redemption Center. So, I mean, if you need money right away when we come out of this, then you can go maybe sell off a little bit of whatever you've got to the bank just so you got cash flow. But I wouldn't put the whole barrel in there. Wait for your I'm sure the redemption centers will be out there, you know, collecting notifications and all this stuff and setting up schedule. How you doing, CC? Yeah, I have been holding IQD for 15 years. Good for you. Yeah. Geez, that's way before me. I didn't even click. That didn't click with me until I think 2019. Yeah. I have a question. Oh, yeah, we got that one done. Grand Rising, I bought 1,000. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Do you think Visa in or to other countries will go away? Yeah, all credit cards are gone. Anything that has a capital letter or your name in capital letters is gone. It's all cabal. That's a good way to, to identify, who's good and who's bad, right? Oh, so you bought $1,000 worth of Vietnamese dong. Very, very good move. Yep, you did it just at the right time. Yeah. Hey, Glennis, how are you? From Northern Ireland, the beautiful country of Ireland, the beautiful island. When will silver start going up? It's just wait till our commander just flips, pushes that green button. It's going to happen just like that. It's just going to, here it is, boom. Yeah. And I guess they'll take control of the COMEX or whatever they're going to do, but it'll be out there for everybody to see. And then you'll say, okay, now it's worth 1,500 an ounce. Who's going to buy it? Trust me. All you go to any exchange center in the world and they'll be happy to buy it. Of course, they're going to want a little, they're going to want their cut, a little bit of cut, but you're going to have so much profit there at that time, right? You're going to have, I mean, that's 25 times of what you've paid for it. Have I heard of the Anchor project where we will lose gravity for 7.3 seconds? No. So what are you saying? We got to hang on to a tree? I'm not sure. I can imagine who knows what's going to happen here. You know, I'm waiting for dinosaurs to start walking over this landscape. I mean, what next? Yeah. When you sign your NDA, it's not an NDR, NDA, yes. How will we know? Well, you'll know because you've been asked by the military to sign an NDA. Then because you'll have to sign that NDA first in most cases. And then, of course, because they're doing it for your own safety. And then, of course, you'll receive your all your accounts and, across your dashboard on your new phone or your old phone. I think it's going to be a new phone. They're not going to, all these old phones and everything's happening. Unfortunately, if it doesn't happen by the time I get to the Philippines, I'm going to have to buy another phone. But I'd rather buy it there because, $1,200-$1,400 in Canada is like, $200 in the Philippines. Same thing, same phone. Yeah, it's we're just getting ripped off here. How you doing? Do you have any updates on the XRP XLM other than the fact is it's all going to be tokenized and they're on, they're on a blockchain and they're ready to go. Make sure that if you're trying to buy it or whatever, that is being done through Ripple. That's all I know. I'm not even playing with it because I think with the redemption centers and once it goes and you put everything on your Quantum account, you'll have the opportunity to buy whatever you want there at that time. There's too many scammers out there. Yes. How you doing, Stargazer? How do the redemption centers call you? With email. They've taken all the information from the banks, from the central banks. If you got a bank account, then they've got you. But they're going to, then they're just emailing everybody's. When you make up an account, they've got your email because it always comes out in your statements. That's why they put everything on what do you call it? Online banking. Excuse me. Yeah. My bank doesn't buy dinar or dong. Yeah, well, they're a lousy bank. No, they don't want to do it because it's their own dysfunction. And I'd highly recommend that you get out of that account and go find a bank that will sell you dinar or dong. And if you got no time left, go to the airport or go to the city where there's an airport and has a money exchange and start and buy it through there. But I had no problem with my CIBC bank in my town here. I had no problem. I just went down to the bank and I ordered 120,000 yen, which I'm not going to be using, but I will take it with me, and another 50,000 in Philippine peso. They had no problem. It was there. I got it within like 5 working days. Thank you very much, New York. Yeah, or North York, Toronto. Yep, Grant. Yep. Thank you very much. Love you. Yeah, and yep, you're Canadian. Another Canadian patriot brother and sister. Georgia born. Yeah, how you doing, Frankie? My nephew's his name is Frank. Yeah, and my brother. Yeah, he's had a bit of a handful with his children. Of course, everybody. I mean, our families. We're very, very down to earth, but we're a little on the crazy side. Being born and raised in Vancouver. Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to store that is not plastic. I'm not sure what you're meaning there. Might be talking to somebody else. How's it going, Socks? Yeah, the NAR is really $40 and the dong is $29. Yep, that's U.S. Treasury notes. Yep. And I believe Canada or anybody that's in the Americas right now will end up going to the U.S. Treasury note. Now, I'm not sure about Brazil and Argentina, but they are the Americas, so I don't know how that's going to play out. They might have their own new currencies. But I do know right now that, the global military is taking control of all these DS hotspots. There's going to be no more corruption. I could read some stuff off for you if you want, but I'd like to answer all these questions if I can. I saw a video from Ripple saying they are releasing XRP on the 28th. Yeah, and that could very well be. There's a lot of action going on right now. A lot of it's, like it says, it's behind the scenes. It's covertly being done. And that just tells me that there's still, deep state, Gator, I call them Gator banksters. Yeah. But they, a lot of them are packing their bags. They're running. Yeah. Where do you register your email? Well, you don't. If you do it, if you got a bank account, it's already been registered. If you got a bank account, any bank account wherever you are in the world, then they will require that you give them an email for contact, and then you'll be registered in with the Quantum QFS. Do you think entry visa or to other countries will go away? Yes, it will. I think there will be, your frequency is going to be your passport. Yeah. But I don't know how long that's going to take to like I said, don't get rid of your passport yet, or visa, or whatever you want to do. Some countries might still be, on a security, basis to do things, but I know that we're going to be able to travel as long as you're not a criminal. Yeah. Hey, Joe. Yeah, this is what I'm getting from from military intel. So, yeah, they're not going to be putting that stuff out there just for shits and giggles. What will happen to our money that we have invested in the bank? Well, get your money out of the bank, please. Be transferred to new currency. It will go to a certain point, but if you got a pile of it in there, it's just going to disappear because they want to get it up. They're not going to, the best thing, what I've been saying, and I've been preaching on this for, years and years now, is take all your money out and start investing into silver, or gold, whatever you want. But, get it put into metals and get it into physical metal and go, bring it home and stash it. And like I said, it's very, very easy to do. You can go to any exchange center, any metals dealer. They're all throughout, just Google them. They're everywhere. And just phone them. Make your order from there, and then you'll have to go back, just go down to the bank and pay for it. It's like a paying for the bill, because they themselves, as the metal place, they'll be asking you for your email. You give it to them, and then they'll email you the bill. Or I guess it's the bill. And then you go down and you pay the bill through the bank and take a picture of that. And, wait for your metal to arrive in your mail. Or how they're going to do it. They could come FedEx too. Has the Indonesian rupiah rate been fixed? Yes, I think it's around $2. But it could be higher. When I'm seeing the dong being at 29, I'm not surprised to see the Indonesian rupiah at $5, $6, $7, $8. Who knows? But at it, right now, the Canadian dollar is about 11, 12,000 Indonesian rupiah. So you get, for every dollar, you get about 11,000 rupiah. So that's a real good investment as well. Yep. How you doing, Laverne? JS, where do you register? Well, I just explained that. If you got a bank account, your email's already registered. The currency exchange. I got dinar. They buy the less than I know. Everything's. You just got to use your discernment out there, okay? Yeah, nobody knows what's coming. But we're trying to get the intel out there based on the Q drops that they're dropping for us. It's all crumbs. It's all breadcrumbs. Yeah. NASA has known about the Project Anchor for years, yes. Well, there's lots of stuff going on. I mean, it's we're talking about the Golden Dome. I mean, and that's going to be all of North America, Greenland included. And inside that will be the Board of Peace. This is what they're cleaning up right now. There is really no wars on the planet. What they're doing is going in and gathering up all the NAZIs. NAZIs are in they're complicit or with the NAZIs are in Iran. The NAZIs are in Ukraine. The NAZIs are in the United States. They're everywhere. Okay? They have been infiltrating through 3 generations since World War II? Or as the Democrats would say, World War 11. What a bunch of dummies. I swear to God, they're on a different planet. They have zero. Where do they find these people? I mean, they gotta go into the into the dumbest gene pool possible to put them in where they are. Because anybody with any right mind who would want to be a politician right now? I mean, listen. This is the way I see things. I respect the Philippines. I always have, because of their great history. And I look at it and I'm saying, they're the only country right now, by actually endorsing the new law, the law of the people, saying that if you are a politician, if you get your hands caught in the cookie jar, stealing for yourself, like what Ferdinand Marcos did, and many others after him, you're going to be put to a pole, tied up, and nailed with a firing squad. That's what's coming. The Philippines has already done this several times in the past in their history. Case in point is Trece Martinez, a place in Cavite province, and any Filipino will be able to agree with me. They still have a statue where the people went into Trece Martinez, the Capitol building, and ripped everybody out of there. All the council people, all the mayors, everything else. Took them out into the courtyard and hung them all. And there's a big plaque there, statue, how they did it there. And I said, that's the Philippine people. They're not going to put up with this bullshit. And they're already starting. I mean, their heritage proves, past proves future. So if they've done this in the past, they're going to do this in the future. I would not want to be a politician. And if I was, I would change things and make sure that the people were granted what they wanted, such as money, and get all the money back to them, right? The reason why, they took out Saddam Hussein was because he took care of his people. The same with Muammar Gaddafi. Because he took care of his people. And then they allowed, like you see these gators now in the G7, G8, going around, and all these, crazy lefts are saying, why is Trump so, mean to everybody out there? He's not with the protocol, all this shit. These gators that are running the G7, G8 are all enemies of the people. They're the ones that have pushed the MNRA. They're the ones that, paid off all the doctors to, poke your children and poke you. They're the ones that funded all the disinformation through the news, reels and everything else to give you disinformation to keep you all mixed up. Why would not Trump not be, treat them like shit? I would be doing the same thing. He's trying to tell everybody that these are very, very evil gators out there that are still running and still suppressing their respective people in their countries. All of them. Macron. Stalmer just left, but who are they going to try to get installed there next? It's going to be maybe somebody worse than Stalmer. That's what they're trying to do. This is the fight that's going on. Merz out of Germany. Right? Maloney out of Italy. And who's that other Spaniard out of Spain? Right? Albanese out of Australia, and Carney out of Canada, Luxon out of New Zealand. They're all criminals. Why would Trump be buddy with all these people? Even though he says things, to make it, oh yeah, well, he's my friend, and he's a really, really nice guy and whatever. He's playing the part. He wants to be the one that puts the noose around their neck, as do I. Yes. Will the EBS go off in all the countries? Yes, it will. It's going to go off simultaneously in most countries all at once. But there will be rotating blackouts. Right? Everybody's going to be notified. You'll get notification on your email or through Messenger or whatever. Just keep your phones clean. Turn on your notification. I mean, don't turn off your notification. Turn it on. I mean, you're gonna have to, stay in tune with what's going on. I don't know about eBay, about buying anything on eBay. It's sketchy. But it's up to you. I think Amazon's okay too. That's, I guess you can buy some foreign currency and then take it to your bank and get them to authenticate it, but I'm sure it'd be okay. Are you allowed to share your QFS balance with other spouses and whatever? Well, yeah, you just cannot say where you got it from, but you got to keep a very tight lip because it's for your own safety. Word gets out very, very fast to the bad guys that are still walking the streets. And, especially with all the illegal drugs that are out there right now, they'll do anything if they know where the money is. They have no fear. I'm living in the combat zone right now, up in the industrial area. I live in the combat zone every night, and I'm just being there. I'm not, I can see the drug action that's going on and stuff like that, but I'm not calling the cops because nothing will ever happen, and maybe that's what, they want, if something does happen or whatever, they'll think I'm just here to protect my little domain up here for my buddy. But I'm not going to be sitting there. I'm certainly not a, whatever you want to call it. No, that's, if the cops want them stopped, they can, park their own ass up here and catch them. But if they don't have the time or the patience to come and do a drive-by on what's going on, then that's up to them. Thank you very much. Appreciate it too. Yeah, thank you for the comment. Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. I sold everything back in 2012, all my real estate holdings, and I turned it into, anything. I liquefied everything. Yeah. And I put everything, whatever I had, I put it on wheels to move it around. I didn't, because the future was very, very bleak back in, 2017. I knew that we had a real good chance when Trump came in, and it had only been it for 1 year. But I'll tell you, the wind got knocked out of me in 2020 when when he lost the election. The wind got, ripped right out of me. I says, and that's when I started moving, I had already built the house in the Philippines, but I says, well, I guess I'm going to, plant my butt down there because I'm not going to, I can't, who can live in a NAZI occupation in Canada? Because that's what it is. If we lose our internet and phone, how will they get to be the EBS? Well, all that's going to go in timing. Okay, I know what you're saying, right? It could have you could get the invitation before or after. But, the internet will go down. So if you didn't get your notification before, then you'll get it afterwards, after we go through all this, once your internet is up and running. Yeah. And of course, the announcements, so it's what's happening right now, 4th of July. I believe there's going to be lots of things happening. Trump he's ready to set some really historical changes in this world. He's about to let that all happen, which is very, very cool. So we just have to be patient and wait for this thing to happen. Hey, Tucky. Can you talk about copper and the drinking water? Well, okay, I will. And the thing is about that big fountain thing it's all got filled up with algae and everybody's bitching. Trump went out and spent $14 million to clean up this water and all this stuff. Why didn't they just throw copper rod in there? That would have just killed everything and kept the water nice and clear. I don't get it. Like, is this part of I'm sure there's people that are smarter than I am. That's a pretty simple process. Just throw some copper. That's why they threw pennies in the fountains. Kept the water clean. Right? And that's, in the fountains. There's no movement in that big pond there. I don't see any fountains going off. There should be fountains going off every 20 feet. There should be another fountain circulating the water. I don't even know what that's all about. For the amount of money that was spent on that, I'm not impressed. But, the only way if you want copper in your hot tub or in your pool, just throw copper in there. You could get little copper rods like this here, put them on a bobber, let them, bounce around or float on the water or whatever, and just have them floating around. It iodizes the water and it kills all the bacteria, and you don't even need chlorine, right? But copper right now is $6 a pound, okay? And, you can get copper. Like I said, this here, that's copper, right? And you put your water in that. I just have, drink all your water into the glass jars. That's all cinnamon stick in there and cloves. Very, very tasty. It gives you you don't even need honey in there. It's cinnamon is has a sweet flavor to it. How do I buy it from Ripple? Well, I don't know why everybody's out there so stoked on trying to, start buying stuff. Why don't you just wait on this crypto until you get the redemption happening? If you want to invest in something and get something in, I would not throw any money into the internet. You're just asking for trouble. I would just go and buy some physical silver or gold or copper or whatever you want. And, because that's God's money. That's God's currency. The paper stuff, this stuff here. What is that? They call it a loonie, Canadian loonie. But it looks like copper, but it's not. It's pot metal. And it's not worth, it's not worth anything. My bank, too, it's Chase. If you can buy, metal, I wouldn't buy, I wouldn't buy any gold or silver or anything through the bank. Just go buy your foreign currency. Go straight to a metal dealer straight away, and they'll charge. They'll charge a few bucks more for whatever you're buying. They got spot price and then they got premium price, right? You can never buy spot. That's for the real big players. But if you're buying even up to $10,000 worth or whatever, they'll give an upcharge on it. They want to take. They're in there to make money too, right? But it doesn't matter. Buy as much as you can, because now we know it's going to go to 1,500 and 20,000. I bought my foreign currency at a foreign exchange company, and that's what you do, right? Stay away from the banks. They're ripoffs. They're not your friend. Would you suggest keeping XRP, XLM on crypto.com? I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. Go over to and talk to and listen to John Dowling or Mark Z. But John Dowling, he's up on all of that, and as well as Nick Vinyaman, Nicholas V. We will need receipts of foreign money. Yes, we will. If you're buying it, it's good to get a receipt. I got most of my receipts. And, also take in a couple of bills that with your name that are on it and your address. So that proves that you're living at that residence. A couple of old bills, it doesn't matter. Of course, your ID, passport really helps. Driver's license. I mean, take all your straw man ID with you. Because they're just going to apply that over to your you're going to apply that over to your Quantum account, and everything's attached to that. And even your DNA is attached to your Quantum, right? Yeah, you could try the banks. How you doing, Darlene? How did dinar jump to $40? Because it's being revaluated. Everything's been all the currencies out there have been manipulated. I mean, okay, I'm going to give you an example. Canada's in a depression right now, but we're still holding, 60% of the value of the US dollar. It's all highly manipulated. You can go to countries and other countries around the world, the ones that were doing very, very well, very, very strong economies and stuff like that, such as Vietnam. But, they have a very, very strong economy there. And yet, they're 25,000 to 1. That doesn't even make sense. Or you got in Japan. If you ever lived in Japan, I lived there for 11 years. What a monster economy that is there. And yet their yen is 120 yen to $1. Doesn't even make sense. Nothing makes sense. So everything, what Trump is trying to do, he's going to level everything out, and he's going to give the two main ones is the dinar and the dong, because both of those countries were invaded and destroyed by the militaries, and both of those countries had very, very decent leadership. One back in the day was Ho Chi Minh, a very well educated and a very basic humanitarian. And by the way, United States lost that war in 1975. And I'm going to tell for the old veterans, I'm sure you guys all know. I followed that from day one. I lived through it, not there, but here. And they basically got their ass kicked out of Saigon when the North Viet Cong came finally in. Ho Chi Minh up in Hanoi was holding strong. That was his command center, and they did everything, And as far as I'm concerned, the Americans, they played dirty. They were dirty fighters. But, it's war. Anyways, so they're going to get reparations back from all that disaster that happened in, from 1958 to 1975. And of course, the Iraqi people, that as of again, millions of people died because of what the deep state did to that country, blew it apart. And Saddam Hussein was he was a hard-handed, he was hard-fisted, but there was no ISIS or any terrorist jihadis out there. He had them on the run. He hated them more than Western society hated him because of what they were trying to do, and he got taken out for that. So yes, the Iraqi people are going to get reparations, and their country's already rebuilt. The amount of wealth that is in Iraq is massive. Grand Rising. Yep. Okay. City that I will not allowed to be renew my driver's license. I'm sorry. Just double check your printing there to make sure your pronunciations are right. You're not going to need a driver's license after all this. You're not going to need a license to travel, as I've been trying to explain for many years now. Will credit unions be in the network? Yes, they will be. They're talking about assimilating them with Quantum Financial because they're not part. I guess they're not part of the central system. There is some corruption, but not like the central banks. I know they will have their own, but I am asking if we are allowed to say how much we have if we sign. No, that's part of the NDA. There's a couple of stipulations. They're doing it. You're going to have to sign an NDA for up to 90 days. After that 90 days, once you move stuff in wherever you have to, do your diversifying or whatever you're going to be doing, after 90 days that, you'll be allowed to do or say anything you want, but it's for your own safety. Just remember something, okay? Family can be just as dangerous as the bandits on the street, if not worse. I wouldn't trust, that's why we're in a quantum financial system that has your account on a phone or a Q phone that only has your frequency to allow you to get into it. Otherwise, if you want to go out there and, consently move money into somebody else's account, that's your choice. But everything's going to be monitored. And if you do any, hanky panky, then, they're going to be first, they'll question you and they could seize your money. If you're doing good things and bringing, doing God's work, then you're going to receive more and more money. This is how they're going to do it. Everything that I have studied and worked on very, very hard, since 2015, trying to put things together, using my own discernment on it, is everything's working out just fine. Everything's coming into fruition on everything that I had suspected on. So, I'm feeling very vindicated for all the things that was told to me, and people demonized me for many, many years, family included, friends, family, everybody. I feel very vindicated now, knowing that what I know now is what I suspected before is not all being announced now. So it feels good. It feels good. I sleep good at night. I was born and raised in Vancouver. I'm not crazy. Okay. I understand. Well, my family is a little bit, we're all each one of us is very unique. Yeah. And, yeah, that's all I can say. I had a friend, jump on me on Facebook that, Canadians, about Trump. Yeah. Well, that's, TDS. A lot of sleepers have, Trump derangement syndrome. They're just, it doesn't matter what Trump does, it doesn't matter what he does, if he's going to, disappear out of there, and then for years and years, they'll still, it's all Trump's fault. Hey, how you doing, Gentle Storm? You're welcome. Hallelujah too. Yeah. 1 million dong will be $29 million, U.S. Treasury note. Yes. Yeah. So if you got 1 million dong, it will be 29 million U.S. Treasury note. Correct. I know it's amazing, eh? So if somebody's got 100 million, right, that puts them into the billion category, right? That's all I'm telling you. So, go buy yourself a ship, cruise the world. I think with all this money going into good people's hands, you're going to see, a lot of new stuff coming out. All this new technology. We are going to um, advance in technology so fast, you won't recognize this world in 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever. You won't recognize it. With all the money that's coming back right now, that's what the plan was to begin with. See, the problem was when the Gators had control of everything, and they're doing everything desperately to try to keep their control. But when they had it, they kept all the good people down, and anybody that was trying to invent new stuff, and scientists that were whistleblowers or whatever, they were eliminated, and they kept us suppressed. Whether through the media, whether it be through petroleum drugs that was poisoning, or whether it be through petroleum food on the shelf. If not, the cocktail jabronis. Yeah. The future is going to be wild. For the things that I'm studying right now, absolutely off the hinge. Think of yourself in 10 years' time at Star Trek level. Just throw your imagination out there. How you doing, Kurgo? Hey, Ron. Yeah. How you doing, Mary? And Ronnie? Laura? And JD? Linda? Everybody's coming in. Hey, Tony? Yeah, Veronica? And Chris? How you doing? Yeah. So this is what's going to happen. I think high-speed rail, anti-gravity vehicles, high-speed, there might be even portals going from one to another. About $3,000 plus Philippine peso. Yeah. I have 8 million dong. Then times that by 29. If you can get into Redemption Center. Yeah. So I say per million dong. Yeah. So if you've got 8 times that by 29. Yeah. $29 or 29 treasury. Yeah. Yeah. I say holy crap too. Yeah. I sent 200 comments to your live. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Pearl. How you doing, Sean Fitzpatrick? Would you like to sell some? Why don't you just go buy from the exchange? Don't buy off of each other. Take it from the cabal. Take it from the central banks. Burn them. The idea is for us to get rich and them to be on the street panhandling. How you doing, Mojo? Good to see you. Hey, how you doing, Mike and Linda? Cookie dextrose or detox. Cookie detox? That's a good one. Are the banks closing soon? Yes, they are. Yeah, they got no money. Yeah. You just joking? Okay. Wink, wink. Cookie detox, about 75 US dollars. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the place I would go to order foreign currency is my bank. And you can do that today. And like it says, I've got dollars and I don't expect to have, I might trade I think you're allowed 50,000 pesos going in there. I'm not sure exactly what that's all about in pesos, but I'm just playing off the cuff of what's happening right now with all the revaluation. I'm hoping everything's going to be reevaluated before September. But, let's see what happens July 4th. I think that's going to be the kickoff, the cutting of the ribbons. So what are we going to do with all the cash? Well, it's not cash. It's going to be on your Quantum Financial, on your dashboard. You're going to be able to, the Starlink, okay, the XRPs and the XLMs, okay, you'll be able to pay for anything you want through your 13 different metals on your dashboard. And I already went through all them, right? I told you that already. I don't know where they all are now. I mean, I suppose I could still count that off. I hope everybody kind of wrote that down. And I did post it, right? I did post it. Yeah, I mean, there before, I mean, I go back to whatever date that was, April, they were quoting $8.40 for IQD, and the VND was $4.80. Now it's $40. This is June now, so April to June, that's only like 3 or 4 months ago. Now it's $40.29, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is how things are changing. So, I mean, I'm just trying to keep up with with the messages coming in, right? And, but I do want to let you know about the metals that is going to be valued in tokens on the other side of this, right? I just, unfortunately, it's not going to be easy to find. I got so much note stuff here. Yeah, well, anyways, okay. Okay, the med beds. Med beds are being deployed all over the world right now, and they're going to be taking care of a lot of things that are happening right now. A lot of children. There's a lot of people that got the cocktail that are hurting. They're going to be well looked after, and if they could survive up to that point, then that's what's going to happen. They're going in first. The people that are, it's the most severe. There's a lot of military out there that lost their limbs and got stuck in battle with the underground warfare and the subterranean battles that are going on down there, along with all the Palladians. The Palladians and the the Nordics were all helping us clear out these DUMBs, right? Getting rid of all the gators. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm just going to say it one more time. I'm going to have to keep repeating it. It's gold is XRP, and silver is XLM. Copper is XDC. Platinum is ALGO. I want everybody to write all this down if you can. Then you got your notes with you, okay? And this is all metals that will be very active on the other side of this. IOTA is iridium. HBAR is palladium. QNT is titanium. ADA is nickel. VELO is rhodium. And I posted it already, so just go back into my videos and look at my postings back there and you'll see it posted. VELO is rhodium, and XXA is hybrid metals, other hybrid metals, but they're going to add more to it, okay? But that is kind of gives you an idea how you're going to move your money. Your money, you are going to be the bank. You're the bank. You're going to be able to say, well, send so much of this here, value, whatever, because I want to buy a car. And you're going in to buy a car. How much is the car? They're going to say, this is how much this car is. You say, okay, where do I send this to? You do it right on your phone. There's no banks involved. That's why banks are going to disappear. If the banks do exist, they're going to be like lawyers running after ambulances. Our mortgage was due today. We called them and delayed it a week. I'm very hopeful they'll crash very soon. Okay. you can take them or go over to the courthouse or just say, you go back to the bank and say, I need copies of my mortgage and everything. Okay. Get copies of them. And then you go over to the courthouse and start your proceeding by doing an affidavit to put a claim in there. You want to go into court because this, what you're dealing with there is predatory lending. What the bank is trying to do with this mortgage is totally illegal. It's been proven again. Taxes are totally illegal. They're predatory. And you take that and you write out in your affidavit in capital and upper lowercase lettering. Okay. And you say that, I'm making a claim here on this mortgage because it's illegal and it's predatory. And, and that will basically, they have to, they have to accept that and put that into court, and that court date will not come to fruition for at least 9 to 10 months. That won't rotate out of there, and I'm sure all this will be over by then. That's all I would do. If I own property, that's what I'd be doing. Do you think TikTok will still exist? Oh yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of new stuff coming out, but a lot of it's going to be these scammers and hackers that are out there. They're going to be, they're going to be caught and sent to Longbeard. Yeah, go back through my video. You'll see it. It's like I got, there's a list. You'll see the list there of the metals. Yeah. That's all right. Better late than never. How much? Yeah. Well, all I'm going to, if you're just coming on now, they just valued out the dinar at $40 and the Vietnamese dong at 29. They've released through the X, I believe that was through Q. Might not be government, but it was through Q, which is government. That gold is at 20,000 and silver will be at 1,500. All right. Well, you guys, the money out there that you've got, all the foreign currency that you got now, you'll get that figured out real fast. I'm sure you will. How you doing, Linda? Yep. There is so much information. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with everything. I know. It's mind-boggling. Sometimes I get a headache looking at it all. I usually got to take a break and keep my phone away from everything, go do something else, and clear my brain, go get some sun rays, kick off my slippers, and get myself grounded. How you doing, Linda Chavez? Yes. They should be, yeah, okay, that's just a comment, sorry. I'm sorry I was here late. Yeah, that's okay, no problem. We need the med beds now, I know. Med beds are out there, they're happening. Yep, the kids go first, the military, the vets go first, but there's lots of med beds out there. I think once they start putting this out to the public, it's not going to stop. You're going to have so many med beds, it's going to be like, it's going to be like having, the clinics or the healing centers will be like 7-Elevens everywhere around the world. Be like, maybe they'll be taking the McDonald's, they'll be shutting down those fast food restaurants and putting, changing them over to med bed centers. Doesn't that sound logical? Why wouldn't they? Because, Soylent Green. I'm not going to go any further. That's why I don't. Yeah. I'm struggling. Yes, I know we all are. Things are so high priced. Are you Canadian, Linda? Yeah, I know it's really bad. I know. Listen, I got out of all of my real estate and I parked my ass in on wheels. I'm doing camper life, which is fine. It's summertime, but I lock everything up and take it all over to my buddy's farm, park it all there, and I get on a plane and adios to the islands. Yep. And I miss the Philippines. Robert, yes, McGinnis. Kathy, how are you? Yeah. They're cleaning up the mess right now. Yeah. Don't worry about anything, like it says. Just prepare yourself for the lockdown. Get some food on the shelf and make sure you got some good foods, stuff like that. Stay away from the fast food places. It's absolute junk. The only place I trust, and but that's still too high price. Is A&W, and I got 3 chicken breasts or whatever they were with some dip. It was like $11. I mean, it's just stupid. I bought a chicken. One of my friends from a farm. I said to her, I says, well, maybe we can go a quarter, whatever, on some beef. And she's got a freezer, big freezer and everything else. And, and I said, well, sure. I says, maybe we could just go on a half and we'll split that and enjoy whatever. I says, by the way, do you have a chicken? And I know how big her chickens are because they come in from the Hutterites out of Creston. So she comes back in the afternoon because she's got bringing her boy back into town or picking him up or something. She got this chicken that looks like a freaking turkey. And I says, how am I supposed to put that in a little Danby fridge? She says, it's okay. She says, that thing is rock hard frozen. She says, it'll last like that for 3 or 4 days. So I'm looking at this thing. This thing is the size of a turkey. And it comes right off the farm. And I'm trying to figure out how am I going to get this thing. I mean, I might have to go down and buy a what do you call it? A butcher knife? Like one of those big axe just to get this thing taken apart. Yeah, but that's the type of buying we should be buying. Stay out of the restaurants, stay out of the big box stores because it's all garbage. I just sent something out the other day on what they're doing with all the beef. We don't even know where this beef is coming from. They're just doing everything, and all of this is being revealed. And try and go to a farmer or people, just get connected. There, whatever in your phone. You might have to drive an hour or whatever, but you know what? In the long run, it's much worth it. And if you got a freezer, it's you want to take care of your body, especially right now, right? And make sure your vegetables and your fruits and everything's all washed in water and baking soda, right? You can get a big box of baking soda, in the big box stores, and they may be $6, $7, $8 for a huge box. Get your white vinegar; that's very, very good too. Yeah, all that stuff. Get prepared for what is about to happen. Will they know who were? Yeah, well, of course they're going to ask them, but it's very highly evidence that yes, they're going to know who was jabbed, because when the med beds go up and they activate, they analyze your whole body. They'll know right away, and when they do analyze, when you stand in kind of a pod, I guess, and it scans you, and it sends that information over to the med bed, and that med bed calculates on the things that's going to the frequencies that will need to be activated to take care of you and your body. Yeah, and age regression is going to happen. There's lots of wonderful things coming. Yeah. Yeah. How you doing, Daisy? 2 of us are disabled. Groceries, 300. Yeah, I know. Just hang in there. I wish I could help. That's the way things are right now. I've got, a family down in the Philippines. We're trying to put things together. Thank God they're there and not here. Yeah. I got to get out of here too, because it's Canada's just too expensive. Yeah. Yeah. Just, it's a QR code. that we're all gonna have to just retrain ourselves for everything, okay? The military has done so much study on this that it's going to be very, very easy to, to transition over from your straw man to your sovereign. And then you'll be able to throw your straw man identity away. Just keep your ears open and pay attention. Yeah. Yeah, if you're lucky enough to get a chicken to butcher, and then, that's great. And that's why I said the other day, I mean, if you got a couple of chickens, a couple of laying chickens and stuff like that, they're going to clean up your backyard. They'll be super happy because they'll be in your backyard pecking away at all the little bugs and whatever, worms and whatever. And, they'll be going after everything. And plus, they'll be cleaning up your backyard and your garden. They're not going to go after your garden stuff. And you'll always have eggs, kicking around. So, yeah, if you've got chickens or little chickadees, you can go down to the stockyard or whatever your local co-op, food, what do you call it, farm supplies store, and get hooked up with, connected with some chickadees or whatever that they're selling, and then just bring them home. It doesn't take much to keep them rocking, and you can always ask, the people there that are selling it, they'll give you some tips. Yes, I know everybody's stretched thin, but we're at the end. We've survived it. We survived 2011 or 9/11. We survived the meltdown in 2007. And for me, it goes way back further. But we survived the absolute takedown in 2014, and how the destruction was happening worldwide. We've been in a recession for 20 years, right? We've survived it all, and then they attacked us with Kool-Aid shots, and now we're attacking our children. Yeah, we've survived it all. So bless our Lord for keeping us around and waking us up. Yeah. Yes. You heard gold is going to drop back to 1,500? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm getting new news all the time. And, who knows how this is going to play out. I'm feeding you the reports that I'm getting, the latest reports that are coming out. I'm just the messenger. So, yeah. But, and it only makes sense. What I hear from Gene Decode, and, I take his word very, very seriously. And he says silver will surpass gold. So, if gold is what that is, or if it goes 15 to 1,500, silver in any way, silver has so much room to rise up. Okay? I don't care about gold. I got no gold left. I sold it all off to buy silver. I believe silver is the one that's going to, change people's worlds. Can you go over the coin XRP gold again? It's in my videos, but I will if you want. You got a pen and paper ready? Okay, quickly enough. XRP is gold. XLM is silver. Okay? XDC is copper. ALGO is platinum. IOTA is uranium. That's with an I. IOTA is uranium, yes. HBAR or HBAR is palladium. QNT is titanium. ADA is nickel. VELO is rhodium. And XXA is hybrid metals. But there will be more added to it. And those are all going to be tokens. So they'll be in their original metals, okay? They'll be in the original metals. So you'll have XRP, you'll have it in gold, you'll have XDM, XDC, you'll have it in copper, so on and so forth. All right. Okay, gang, I got to run. We'll see you on the next one, okay?